Emotional story, stories of younger brothers in the esports industry, obediently clinging to the champion's top single, narcissistic and having a romantic mind single, a genius who loves gossip and Yanba playing wild, and a contrasting and cute external cold and internal hot auxiliary. Let's see which one you love. Career section. Who would have thought that female fans of professional players would embark on a career path and even become the famous downfall demon king of KPL, causing everyone to panic and avoid it? The contestants who lost to her are countless, and the ones who were beaten and cried are countless. King of glory, the pinnacle of glory, the bright moon and stars, never come to an end. Keywords of the novel. Esports. Sister's gentleness is like wielding a knife without a pop-up window. Esports. Sister's gentleness is like wielding a knife. Download complete text. Esports. Sister's gentleness is like wielding a knife. Latest chapter reading. Chapter 1. January 15th. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1 January 15th. On January 15th, the waiting hall of Sea City Airport. When Mingyue was sitting in the VIP waiting hall playing with her phone, scrolling through a short video when she saw a pop-up message. Are you almost there? The name displayed on the chat interface is Little Star. When Mingyue quickly clicked on the reply, and her slender white jade fingers quickly typed on the screen, I'll get on the plane right away. I'll let you know when I get to the venue. Okay, I'll wait for you. After a while, Little Star continued to send a message, although spring is still a bit cold, please wear more clothes and don't catch a cold. Okay. When Mingyue smiled slightly, and the ripples in Peach Blossom's eyes flashed, making her whole person even more charming and bright. Little Star is a professional player of Honor of Kings and is currently a member of CC Club. He plays the top single position and was originally named Wan Pengcheng, also known as Star in the game. He is 17 years old and also a little idol of Wen Mingyue. The first time I met him, Wen Mingyue was surprised by his purity and talent in esports. Her childlike heart was nothing more than that, which she had always envied. Later, when chatting with him, she found out that Star is a simple yet firm person. When she often feels lost or agitated, the other person's words always make her come out of the fog, just like the dawn after dark, making you feel that tomorrow is full of hope. Just finished attending the program in C City, and this time she went to S City to attend this year's Honor of Kings annual award ceremony. The actual purpose was to see her idol, Star Children. Although she has known her online for some time, she has not seen her in person yet. At that time, she accidentally opened the live broadcast room of the King of Glory competition. After watching several matches, she was deeply impressed by this player who had a very strong sense of operation. At the same time, he also gained some new understanding of mobile games, so while following the KPL competition, he also paid special attention to the stars and later became his fan. With this in mind, when Mingyue messaged her best friend, I'm going to the KPL award ceremony, and I'm about to see Little Star haha. The other party instantly received a message, and in a surprised tone, they first sent 3 exclamation marks. Are you really fake? Are you so popular now? Can you even attend their ceremony? Due to her interest in stars, when Mingyue later wrote a romance novel about esports. Unexpectedly, she was caught up in a remake of a TV series, which unexpectedly became popular. As the original author and co-writer, when Mingyue gradually became known. KPL and Honor of Kings have thus appeared in a broader field of vision, which can be considered as driving the already popular esports circle. When Mingyue gave a slight shiver and answered calmly and arrogantly, go give them the award. Are you still the awarding guest? Warden, it's truly you, Wen Mingyue. You must bring back a few signatures for me. I want signature photos of Buyu, Xinghai, and Qingfeng, especially Qingfeng's signature photos. You must take them for me, otherwise your friendship will be ruined in your hands. My best friend Su Yiqing's speech, which was already in a state of violent outbursts, was already expected by Wenmingyue. Her heart was already rolling back and forth with a smile, and she calmly messaged back. "Don't worry, the photos are already ready and we guarantee to complete the task. Also, it's a 9-year friendship, not yet 10 years old. Love you, I love you the most. Is this important? 10 years and 9 years are very different. Can't I tell you in advance? Don't you stop playing with me next year. You're too much, Wenmingyue." Su Yiqing's sudden news, like a bomber, arrived as scheduled, causing Wenmingyue a headache. "As you go, as you please. Take a look at your preface to see if it matches." "Alright, I'll go over and talk about it later." Wenmingyue heard the announcement of boarding on the radio and said to Su Yiqing before turning off her phone screen. "Attention passengers, the flight to S City is now boarding. Passengers of this flight are requested to board at gate 10. At this moment, Wenmingyue didn't even know that her long journey in life began here, and through the trajectory of fate, there was a huge turning point. Before takeoff, Wenmingyue, who had just come back from asking the flight attendant for something, walked towards her seat and collided with a boy who was coming towards her. She looked up at Wenmingyue and couldn't help but raise her eyebrows. She looked at the person on the other side apologizing softly and thought to herself, "Isn't this Star's teammate?" Underneath his handsome appearance is a pair of intelligent and extraordinary eyes, often praised by his fans for their excellent looks. The legendary affectionate eyes, once seen, will never be forgotten. "Sorry, are you okay?" Buyu noticed that she accidentally bumped into someone and apologized before looking up. When she looked up and saw the person coming, a hint of surprise flashed in her eyes. She resisted the sudden violent beating of her heart and remained calm to see if she was okay. Wenmingyue saw that his neck and ears were starting to turn red. She smiled faintly and waved her hand, "It's okay, don't worry." After saying this, she nodded to Buyu and walked sideways to find her spot. Buyu nodded to indicate that he knew, then went to the bathroom to wash his hands. Just now, he accidentally touched a drink and dirted his hand. "His hand has been feeling sticky and uncomfortable, and I can't bear it. I'm going to wash my hands," but I didn't expect it. When Buyu returned to his seat, he found the little sister sitting next to him in the corridor, calming his mind slightly and sitting calmly in his seat. At this time, Wenmingyue, who was still playing with her phone, sent a message to Su Yiqing from her seat and activated the flight mode, regardless of Su Yiqing's message bombardment. "I met Buyu on the plane, and he sat next to me. Moreover, it seems that he has never seen a beautiful woman before." Wenmingyue didn't say this sentence, just added it with a smile in her heart. "What? How did you get on your plane? It's a handsome guy. It's no longer fate. Sisters, don't you think you have an inexplicable fate with E.Sports? This is the second time you've met such a ridiculous thing, oh no, the third time." After waiting for a long time without seeing any news from Wenmingyue, Su Yiqing pursed her lips and muttered, thinking that the plane might have taken off, but even if she saw it, what could she expect from Wenmingyue? At this moment, on the plane, Buyu pretended to turn his head unintentionally, glanced at the person across the corridor, then withdrew his gaze, lowered his head and shook hands, making it difficult to see his expression clearly. He then let go of his palm and sighed, starting to close his eyes and rest. He had not rested well for the past 2 days. Looking down at the tablet, Wenmingyue could roughly feel the gaze from the next door, but she, who had long been accustomed to being scrutinized, did not take it to heart and continued to follow the cash dramas. "Oh, by the way, it seems that my flower-loving best friend who only likes handsome guys wants him to sign a photo. Well, it's okay. Anyway, we'll see each other again at the award ceremony. We'll get better then." The flight attendant who lifted the curtain in the distance was whispering and glanced at Wenmingyue and Buyu. "Handsome men and beautiful women, my goodness, I didn't expect to see Buyu and Mingyu. They should all be attending the award ceremony, right? Do you think I should go and ask for a signature? Buyu is so handsome. Why didn't he go to S City with his teammates? It seems like all the other teammates have arrived. It seems like there's something at home, come over a little later. Mingyue is also in City C, and they are sitting next to each other across the hallway. If it's not for a private relationship, it's fate. I saw Buyu take a few glances at Mingyue, and I hit her. It seems like I'm participating in a program, and I also think maybe I'm really talking about it. Alright, stop gossiping, it's not good to be heard. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Presentation Guests. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 Presentation Guests. As they were about to disembark from the plane, both Mingyue and Buyu were taken photos and signed by the flight attendant. When they saw Buyu next to them, Mingyue politely smiled and said hello. Hello. Hello, Buyu responded to the other person as they spoke, with a slightly unnatural expression and a hint of embarrassment. The flight attendant next to her looked at the two people signing and taking photos, and had a keen eye to see that they didn't know each other. She even introduced them to each other. Both of you should have participated in the Honor of Kings annual awards. I didn't expect to meet you on the plane. It's really fate. Upon hearing these words, Mingyue looked at her with unwavering determination. Did she also participate in the annual award ceremony? Then she met the gaze that Mingyue had cast upon her. Well, I think so too. Mingyue followed the flight attendant's words and gave a persistent glance, smiling in agreement. Then she saw that the other person's ears turned red again, and her lips couldn't help but curl slightly. Why is it so cute? She probably hasn't talked to friends before. Don't you think so, Buyu? The flight attendant continued teasing Buyu. Maybe. Buyu glanced at the flight attendant and his face instantly returned to normal, the contrast not too obvious. Mingyue saw that it was almost over, so she left first. She glanced at Mingyue's back, not knowing what she had told the flight attendant, and then left as well. As King of Glory gradually appears in the public eye, the professional players and related personnel associated with it are known to everyone. Its popularity is no less exposed than that of celebrity idols, and naturally the number of fans also accumulates. Just as they got off the plane, the assistant helped to drag the bow when the two of them arrived at the driver who came to pick them up. Mingyue had just boarded the car and sent a message to Xingxing. I landed, guess who I saw on the plane? The message was quickly replied, okay, I'm already on this side of the venue. When I arrive, I'll pick you up. Then he followed suit and asked, who? As soon as the star sent a message, he received an unwavering message saying, just got off the plane, come over right away. Everyone has arrived. Hurry up, is your home okay? Replied Buyu, not bad, I have already transferred to a regular ward, Buyu replied. The star suddenly thought, maybe they had met. So coincidentally, thinking of this, the star saw the news of Mingyue in just 2 words. Unyielding. Did you really run into me? I was just thinking about it. Star couldn't help but laugh, that's okay. Well, he's still sitting next to me, separated by the hallway. Mingyue also smiled and typed on her phone. Then I exited the chat box and saw Su Yiqing's message. I took a look and stepped back without answering. The backstage of the S City Award ceremony venue. Tomorrow is the day of the award ceremony, so today is the rehearsal. In addition to the award ceremony guests, Mingyue is also a guest in the celebrity performance competition, so she needs to contact the remaining 4 teammates and try playing 2 games. At present, in addition to her teammates who are known to have stars, there is also Qingfeng, whose best friend must sign a photo. She is also the owner of last year's FMVP Jiao Chan champion skin. The most interesting thing is that there is a line in the dialogue of this skin. The clear wind caresses the high platform, and the bright moon enters my arms. So after the TV series became popular, the lines of this skin were also flipped out by someone. Coincidentally, Qing Feng and Wen Mingyue were both playing Sagittarius Development Road. Suddenly, a group of CP fans emerged for the two, and even the official invited the two to play together in the star game. In an instant, the official Weibo account fell under discussion, and everyone was looking forward to seeing the scene of two people sharing the same frame. Even the Qing Feng Mingyue Super Talk was established. Star, you said that Qing Feng and Buyu are both in the middle. We are in the same team, so what do they play? Star, who had already arrived at Wen Mingyue's lounge, heard Wen Mingyue looking at the star game table and saying, "Let's just have one performance match, it doesn't matter." Xing sat on the sofa next to Wen Mingyue and just glanced at the form in her hand when he received a message from the coach asking him to come over. He could only stand up and say to Wen Mingyue, "The coach called me over, I'll come see you later." "Goodbye then, I happen to go out for a while too." Wen Mingyue patted the little cutie's head and rubbed it. "Don't make a fuss, my hair is all messy." Then I watched as he stroked his hair and left, took out the celebrity photo from his bag, and prepared to go to the SH Club to find Qing Feng. First, I will get the most important signature for Su Yiqing. After asking for someone's location, Wen Mingyue stood at the entrance of the temporary rest room of the SH Club and took a deep breath. She must not laugh at the sight of the breeze. After adjusting her facial expression, she slightly knocked on the door that was not fully closed, and sure enough, someone came to open it. SH contestant Xing Yuan was originally playing with his phone when he saw someone knocking on the door and casually opening it. Looking up, he saw a beautiful sister and suddenly felt a bit unsure of what to say, so he heard the other person say it. "May I ask if the breeze is here?" Wen Mingyue smiled faintly, as if the spring breeze was coming from the blooming crabapple flowers, making it difficult to move her eyes. Xing Yuan thought he was indeed looking for Qing Feng. Generally, the little sister who came to ask would probably be looking for him. She sighed in her heart and politely said, "It's inside, please come in." Qing Feng turned her head and closed her eyes to rest, shouting, "Qing Feng, someone is looking." "Okay, thank you." As Xing Yuan made way for the entrance, Wen Mingyue took the opportunity to walk in and thanked him. Qing Feng looked up impatiently at this moment, and when she saw Wen Mingyue looking down at her, her expression immediately became serious, even a bit dazed. "Why did you come? Didn't you see the invited guests for the performance match? We're in the same team." Wen Mingyue saw him sit up and sat down next to him. At this moment, Xing Yuan walked over with a curious expression on his face and said, "Do you know Qing Feng?" "Oh, I guess so," Qing Feng responded vaguely. "Here you are, my best friend is your fan. Could you please sign your name?" Wen Mingyue chuckled softly, unable to say anything to displease him. After all, there was something else to ask for. "Okay, I'll sign it for you. These are a few, right?" Qing Feng, feeling guilty, took the photo and pen from Wen Mingyue's hand and signed it carefully on the table in front of her. Qing Feng's hands are one of the most talked about advantages by KPL fans, with clear and slender knuckles, irresistible charm of hand control, not to mention this person's abdominal muscles, it's simply a slap in the face. Xing Yuan applauded the little sister in his heart with a surprised expression on his face beside him. Qing Feng is not a gentle master at all. He is known for his bad temper in KPL, and his honesty in giving signatures makes one doubt there is a situation. I looked at the two of them up and down for a long time, and they must have some tricks to deal with. You are a good kid, and the peach blossom has never stopped. I'll add a gaming friend later. After finishing today, let's try playing a few games first. Qing Feng signed for her and then took out her phone and said. Xing Yuan looked shocked. He even asked the little sister for contact information. Is this Qing Feng he knew? It has always been someone else who asked for contact information from Qing Feng, and he still doesn't give the kind of ruthless rejection. Okay, then could you please take me flying? Wen Mingyue said, adding the other party's WeChat and nodded to Xing Yuan before leaving. Seeing the little sister walking away, Xingyuan quickly sat down next to Qing Feng with a curious expression on his face. Alright, you. Tell me which ex-girlfriend came to seek revenge again. You two have a problem at first glance, he said. No, what's on your mind all day? I don't have time to fall in love every day. Don't you know how long the previous one was just separated? Qing Feng sneered impatiently, being disturbed by that woman a while ago, and almost not even her fans were blown up. Yeah, what's going on with you? Xingyuan was still thinking about Qing Feng stepping on two boats, but he didn't have the time to think about it. It's a bit embarrassing not to mention it, said Qing Feng, burying his head and resting. He just returned from the event yesterday and hasn't slept for long before coming back for a rehearsal. He's really busy. Seeing that he was really tired to death and Xingyuan couldn't say anything, his gossiping heart, which was hesitant to speak, could only press the button to ask again next time. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Signature. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Signature. Turning her head, when Mingyue found the SA club and knocked on the door. After waiting for a moment, she heard a response from someone inside the door. In no time, the door opened. Seeing surprise in the eyes of the person in front of her, when Mingyue waved and smiled calmly, "Hi, may I ask if the star seat is there?" In front of him is SA's next candidate, Yuesheng. It is said that he gave this name to win, and when Yuesheng combined, it became a symbol of victory, indicating his determination to win. Yuesheng also realized and scratched her head with embarrassment, quickly letting her in. It's inside. She turned to Xinghai and said, "Xinghai has someone looking for you." Who is it? Xinghai also looked up and said, "Wow, beautiful woman, but I don't know her." Fans. That's a bit of a skill to enter the backstage. As when Mingyue walked in, she saw a sea of stars among a group of people at a glance. Her perfect profile was particularly prominent with a high nose bridge and a perfectly curved lip, giving her a sense of standing out from the crowd. A gentleman enters the world without being vulgar, handsome without being demonic, and handsome without scattering. This is the feeling in Wen Mingyue's mind about him now. "Hello, I'm Mingyue. Excuse me, my friend is your fan. Can you sign your name?" When Mingyue put aside her thoughts and nodded slowly to Xinghai, politely smiling as she took out her signature card and pen and handed them over. As one of the popular star players at KPL, Xinghai is definitely the one with the highest commercial value. Even Qing Feng, who has won the FMVP, ranks behind. The fundamental reason for this is because of his handsome appearance. Among many handsome KPLs, this friend can still surpass the two beauty leaders, Bu Yu and Qing Feng, and come to the top of the current popularity list. His beauty and ability to resist attacks are self-evident. Of course, in esports, appearance alone is useless. Without strength and championship, one will eventually end up finding the moon in a haystack. Unfortunately, this kid has the championship, but there are still 3 of them. With popularity and strength side by side, the value of Xinghai has directly reached the peak of glory, and as a result, it has gained a large number of fans and commercial value, directly surpassing last year's most popular Qing Feng, and surpassing it without fail. Moreover, the male lead in Wen Mingyue's novel happens to be in the wilderness, which is the perfect match for the handsome and champion Starry C character. It is said that after the TV series aired, he gained 3 million fans. But it seems like they don't watch any entertainment programs, except for the stars. They don't seem to know each other. That's okay. Oh, that's okay. Xinghai took the photo and pen from Wen Mingyue's hand and began to sign. The others here only looked up and didn't say a word. After all, there were too many people looking for Xinghai to sign. Even the backstage wouldn't be surprised. When Mingyue tentatively asked the nearby Yuesheng, "Do you know about the recently popular TV dramas? They are related to the King of Glory." "I know, I heard from the manager that Xinghai has gained 3 million followers. It's amazing, but it seems like it's for girls to watch, so I didn't pay much attention to it." Yuxing knew about this and chatted with her. Oh, that's right, I mean. No wonder, when Mingyue nodded. It's strange for guys to watch this. If they don't even watch TV dramas, they probably don't know who the male and female leads are. How could they know about her? I completely understand. At this moment, Xinghai sorted out the signed photos and pens and handed them back to her. He looked up at her and said, "You also came to sign while watching TV dramas. This is what my friend wants, and I'm not sure, but I still want to thank you." When Mingyue smiled and thanked them again, then waved goodbye to the two of them. Yuexing blinked and watched the beautiful woman leave, then turned to complain to Xinghai, "Why don't you say a few more words? Maybe the beautiful woman can stay longer." Xinghai rolled his eyes directly at him and said, "He's not my fan, how can I keep him?" At this moment, the manager who came in from outside glanced towards Mingyue, who had already left the door, and turned around to see Xinghai and Yuexing looking at him, so he asked. "Why did she come back to us? Who came to find us?" "Ah, manager, do you know him?" Yuxing blinked and looked surprised. Why did the manager come to ask Xinghai for his signature? Just ask the manager for help. He shouldn't be really a fan of Xinghai and came under the guise of a friend, hee. The manager rolled his eyes and said, "Do you remember the TV drama that made Star C's fans increase by 3 million? Is she the protagonist? Does she like the Starry Sea?" Yuxing quickly gossiped, his voice growing louder due to excitement. Other teammates and staff looked up, obviously wanting to know. One of the analysts also said, "Just now I wanted to say that such a beautiful girl actually likes the Starry Sea. The Starry Sea is really enviable, I didn't expect it to be a female celebrity." No, she's the original author of the adapted TV series and also one of the screenwriters. You guys don't even know about it. The manager looked like a ghost. These people don't surf, do they? Is their club really on the 2G network? So awesome, are the screenwriters looking so good now? The analyst sighed, thankfully thinking that the other party was interested in the Star Ocean, and it's also unlikely. Please don't look at me with such eyes, I feel you are in PUA. Xinghai saw the analyst's eyes, and couldn't help roast about what the hell he is bad, and what the fans are doing. That's because they don't know your true face. If you have the ability, you can show your fans the image of you not washing your hair for a week and a dirty and messy dormitory room. It's hard to bear to look directly at you. Yuxing couldn't help but come out and scold. I'm feeling much better now, aren't I? Starry C twitched at the corner of his mouth, still speaking with a stiff expression. That's purely because you have an idle burden, okay? The burden is too heavy. The manager couldn't bear to look directly at Xinghai's room. So what is she here for? Xinghai shifted the topic and asked. As guests and participating in the All-Star game, I know what you're asking. You're across from her, she's with the Qingfeng team, and they both have CP fans and super talk. The manager's expression was met with a knock. Xinghai was just about to say something more, but the manager finished it all. Forget it, he didn't ask. After coming out, when Mingyue messaged Xingxing and planned to go directly to CC Club to find him. She also asked Buyu for a signed photo, but Xingxing did not reply. After thinking about it, when Mingyue went straight to CC Club to take a look first. These restrooms are not far apart, so it's quite easy to find them. Seeing the CC Club door open, when Mingyue was about to knock on the side open door when she saw Buyu looking up and standing up after seeing her. The morning sun next to Buyu noticed some movement and followed Buyu's gaze. When Mingyue nodded and smiled at the two of them. Are you here? Did something fall off the plane? Unwavering and somewhat surprised, he asked. Oh, my friend is your fan. Can I ask for your signature? It was inconvenient on the plane before, when Mingyue said and asked again, can I come in? Buyu quickly stood up and politely said, of course, please come in. When Mingyue walked over and handed the photo and pen to Buyu. She found a stool next to her and looked around to ask Buyu who was signing. Where is the star man? Do you also need his signature? He went out with the coach for a while and came back, Buyu said while writing. When Mingyue's eyes rolled around and she smiled cunningly, whispering, I'm his fan. At this moment, Buyu also finished signing and hesitated to hand it to her. Since he had encountered it again, Buyu nervously took out his phone and was about to ask if he could add WeChat when he heard the other person say. Can you add WeChat? When Mingyue looked at the other person's raised eyes and said, with ripples in her eyes that seemed to make Buyu feel a bit dazzling. She was momentarily stunned and couldn't help but follow her words. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Unyielding. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 Unyielding. Buyu was taken aback for a moment, as if he had not yet walked out of Mingyue's eyes. Then he realized that his somewhat embarrassed eyes were spinning around, and his neck and ears turned red again. Can't it? When Mingyue pursed her mouth slightly, looking a bit unhappy as she looked directly at him. Cough, it's okay, Buyu said, bowing his head and not daring to look at her. He took out his phone and stared at the other person's WeChat, but before he could be happy, he heard them say. Can you recommend Xingxing WeChat to me? I really like him, when Mingyue said, making a look of admiration for Xingxing's eyes, and then not surprisingly, she saw the expression on Buyu's black face. It's inconvenient, after all, it's his personal privacy, he said with a stiff and wooden expression, then I'll ask for him when he comes back, when Mingyue said with a disappointed expression, lowering her hand and head. Buyu noticed that he was a bit blunt and said, it's no use waiting for him to come. He usually doesn't add girls on WeChat, especially fans. That's it. When Mingyue just finished speaking when she saw the stars and the coach coming back. The stars looked strange at when Mingyue said, why did you come? Didn't you read the message I sent you? When Mingyue shook her phone in her hand and said. Oh, I haven't had a chance to see it yet, said the star as it walked over. Seeing the faces of Buyu and Chaoyang, she turned to ask when Mingyue, what's going on? When Mingyue turned around and glanced at Buyu. Sure enough, she saw the accusing look in her eyes and couldn't help but smile even happier. It's okay, it's just playing with your teammates, she turned to Buyu and said, don't be angry, Buyu. As he spoke, he still felt that his stinky face was quite cute, so he couldn't help but tug at his face. He didn't slap it away, just snorted and turned his head and didn't speak. The Chaoyang next to him had a melon-eating expression on his face and whispered to Buyu, you're not angry. Even if the coach pulls your face, you'll get hit by you. She's teasing you like this, you're not angry. It's really raining red from the sky. As he spoke, Chaoyang turned around and glanced at when Mingyue again, easily noticing his gaze. The other person even smiled and waved at him before turning his head. Suddenly, he realized that there was nothing strange about this face, and no one could get angry with it. After being introduced by Xingxing, the coach also knew who it was. At this moment, he remembered about the star game and said to Xingxing, you know the remaining few people. Let's join the group for a while, rehearse, and play a few games. We can't go on stage tomorrow without playing a game. It's not good to talk about it. Okay, but I don't have May's WeChat. I didn't add her to the last event, Xingxing suddenly remembered. Let's go find her together. She also came today. When Mingyue knew about May, but she hasn't seen her before. Okay, you two should go first. It should be okay for now, the coach agreed. In fact, it's okay to ask the manager to contact and add people, but since you're on site, it would be better to get to know each other in person. The next day's award ceremony, backstage on the red carpet. Buyu looked around and turned to ask the star, where is she? Who are you talking about? Isn't the morning sun next to you? Xingxing looked at the morning sun next to him and asked who was it. It's not the morning sun. Where is the person from the bright moon? Said steadfastly and unwillingly. Oh, you talk about her, she doesn't need to walk on the red carpet, she's inside. Star smiled knowingly and then patted her unwavering shoulder, saying earnestly. Well, brother, for the sake of our teammates' one-year performance, I suggest you don't like her. Why, are you arguing with me? Buyu looked at the stars and said, what does this kid want? No, Mingyue's liking for me is just her sister's liking for her younger brother, not as you think. What I mean is, during my time with her, she didn't pay much attention to this aspect of the relationship between men and women, which is. What are you talking about? Buyu was worried about him. She's good at teasing and not getting married, but when it comes to reality, she runs away, so ruthless that you can't imagine. Star has seen when Mingyue refuse others, and can only say that whoever likes her is unlucky. Her heart is really made of stone. Oh, Buyu replied with a normal expression, unable to see his true expression in his eyes. Star breathed a sigh of relief. It was best if he could really think clearly, but if he couldn't, Mingyue would also make him think clearly. The words of holding beauty and committing violence were really suitable for Mingyue, and she used them recklessly. All right, it's our turn. The star patted and remained dazed. At this moment, a voice came from the host in front, let's invite CC Club to come on stage. The members and coaches of CC Club officially walked onto the red carpet, signed and took photos one after another. The host called out to Buyu, please stay and come to our side. Usually, the host would invite the most popular player from the club to come for an interview. It is obvious that CC is steadfast, and as one of KPL's for most popular stars, Steadfast naturally became one of the focuses of this red carpet event. Please, Buyu. We all know that Buyu also attended the award ceremony last time. Do you have any different feelings compared to last year? The host professionally glanced at the notebook and asked Buyu. As one of the KPL storefronts, Buyu is naturally exceptionally handsome. Now, there are still many voices of fans calling Buyu's name in the distance, and the host is wearing high heels and even slightly looking up at him. I feel like this year will be better, it's getting better every year. Buyu remained silent for a few seconds before speaking up. Yeah, every year is getting better and better, and I also wish that Buyu can achieve the desired results this year. After the host finished speaking, he bid farewell to Buyu, who then lowered his head and walked into the venue. Next, let's invite SA Club to appear. Xinghai and the team coach walked into the red carpet, and suddenly a scream came. Xinghai's name was constantly heard, no less than the voice of the fans who had just called Buyu. As the four major storefronts of the alliance, Xinghai, Buyu, Qingfeng, and Zhengrong can be said to have top-notch popularity and strength, and their main handsomeness is also top-notch. The first of the four storefronts was Qingfeng, and now it is Xinghai. It can be said that most of KPL's fans are among these four people. There are 4 players in the field, but only the on-road players have not yet surpassed or averaged the popularity of these 4 players. Even the stars that one Mingyue likes have a slightly lower popularity than these 4 places, mainly because there is no championship. Speaking of esports strength, before you become famous, you must have strength, and with strength here, only the champion remains. Electronic sports, there is no runner-up. After entering the venue and sitting down, Yuesheng whispered next to the starry sea, I heard that the little sister who asked you to sign yesterday was the awarding guest for this event. Listen to me, and she also has a good relationship with CC's stars. It seems like she met Buyu on the plane that came. How do you know? Xinghai looked at Yuesheng in surprise, realizing for the first time that his teammates' gossiping ability was so strong. Didn't you listen to their gossip yesterday? Everyone knew about it yesterday. Xingxing and Mingyue went to find Sister Mei together, and everyone saw it. Besides, who wouldn't recognize Sister Mei's face? Yuesheng looked down on my sister's strength. How do you know about the unswerving plane? Xinghai asked. Don't you even read Weibo? The flight attendant has sent out all the group photos, and I'll naturally know when I go to browse the little sister's super talk. Yuxing looked like I'm amazing, I'm a surfing expert. Xinghai couldn't help but admire him and give him a few thumbs, not to mention gossip, it was definitely the top priority. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Award Ceremony. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 Award Ceremony. Let's invite our award-winning guest, Ms. Mingyue, the best screenwriter of the year for TV drama, the host said on stage, as music played. A girl wearing a simple and elegant black suit with long hair draped over her shoulders walked into front of the stage. The bright and charming face on the screen, with a peaceful smile, made people feel like basking in spring breeze. Her demeanor stood tall without any signs of nervousness in her every move. Hello everyone, I am Mingyue and I am delighted to be here to meet you all. It is a great honor to witness a moment in KPL's glorious history here. The award I am going to present this time is the most distinctive competition area of the King of Glory year. Please refer to VCR for the winning competition areas. At this point, the barrage had already begun to float, all kinds of topics related to the bright moon. Here we go, the bright moon is here, everyone wake up. Wow, who is this? Apart from anything else, KPL has a lot of fans for beautiful players. Who is this? This is my moon, please pay attention to the fan circle, don't dream. The beautiful woman is really beautiful. Is this the celebrity invited here? Does KPL have money? The professional players sitting in positions below also looked at the people on stage and started gossiping privately. Some of them saw it yesterday, and today they couldn't help but be amazed for a moment. I didn't expect Miss to look even more beautiful under the spotlight, said Yusheng, patting the shoulder of the neighboring Xinghai. Well, the temperament is overwhelming. Starry C looked at the people on stage and heard his voice speak a bit murky, but did not say who to crush. However, Yuesheng has been on the same team with him for a long time, so he naturally understood his meaning. This is crushing everything today. I just don't know how the game is playing, Yuesheng said with a shrug. It's probably just that. Don't expect too much from beautiful girls, just being beautiful is already very rare. Not bad, we played a game yesterday on both sides. Xinghai saw Mingyue on stage giving the trophy to someone else. When the other person gave their acceptance speech, he took out his phone and started playing. Oh really fake, are you so serious about the all-star game? Yusheng couldn't believe it, let alone Xinghai saying that they were playing well. He couldn't even imagine how much water was mixed in with these words. After playing one game, it's over. Xinghai means that both sides only trained on this one game, just to avoid inviting the wrong teammates to try it out in today's star game. Yusheng immediately understood, and he said how could he prepare so seriously. Both the star game and the contestant Sai Xinghai have to participate, and the stars are not busier than them, so there is no time to rank together. After the award ceremony is over, Mingyue will step down and watch the ceremony from her seat. Next, she will just wait for the celebrity performance competition. She has nothing to do for now. Just after sitting in the seat for a few minutes, the star came over. Why did you come over? Mingyue asked the star in confusion. It's boring for you to sit here alone. Come with me, you know the coach anyway. Mei was still next to me just now, where is she? Mingyue was about to say that Mei was still there, but the person who turned around disappeared. She went backstage and won't come back until the upcoming all-star game. Let's go, said Star, reaching out to see her. Mingyue also thought it was okay, so she reached out to let Star pull her up. Then, she released her hand and followed Star to the position of CC Club. Just like inviting guests is a round table, a club is also a round table. However, except for the guests from the star game, all the invited guests left after the award ceremony, and the remaining leaders naturally wouldn't sit here like wooden blocks. So there weren't many people at Mingyue's table, and later Mei Jia went to the backyard, so naturally she was the only one left. She didn't care, but I didn't expect Xing Xing to remember her. She's such a good child, she hasn't been like by fun for so long. Come and sit here, it's boring to see you sitting alone, so let the stars call you over. The coach of CC Club, Guanyao, smiled and pointed to the position next to Buyu, asking her to sit between the stars and Buyu. He arranged it this way only because he knew the stars knew Buyu and Mingyu, but there was no other intention, just a pure care. After Mingyue thanked and sat down, Guanyao spoke of the gossip he heard yesterday and said, I heard you've seen Buyu on a plane. Ah yes, how do you know? Mingyue took a glass of water poured by Buyu, thanked him and asked Guanyao, then glanced at Buyu. I didn't say anything, I didn't have such a big mouth, said Buyu with a faint expression, it's not him, it's all online now. You two should take a look at Weibo, Guanyao quickly waved his hand and said. Oh, I haven't had a chance to read it yet, it's spreading so fast. Mingyue said as she opened Weibo and glanced at it. She could only say, 666. I'm afraid the rockets didn't spread rumors as quickly as they did. They started to say whether they were secretly dating. And this time in the all-star game, we are still teammates, so the gossip is even more powerful now. The coach said, feeling amused. He glanced at the two of them, not to mention that handsome men and beautiful women are quite compatible. It's better to play one game than to say that imagination is a good thing. Mingyue shrugs. Anyway, the internet has no memory, so it doesn't matter what you say. Didn't you notice that everyone around us was looking at our table? It's not just netizens gossiping. Chaoyang looked around, obviously thinking about it and greeted a few people with a smile. Eating oranges. The stars ignored those and peeled an orange, handing it to Mingyue. Don't Mingyue wave her hand and refuse. Lipstick, cannot be eaten. Bring it to you, Mingyue can't eat it. Thank you, Xiaoxing. Hee, it's quite sweet. Chaoyang didn't hesitate to bring it over and took a bite before Star could say anything. You're so embarrassed, said the star as they started hitting each other. The two of them were fighting together, and if it weren't for the coach's reminder to pull them apart, it wouldn't have stopped yet. Alright, let's go to the backstage now, you three. The coach saw that it was almost time for the all-star game on stage, and the staff came to urge the three of them to leave quickly. It's really a headache. Usually, everyone is normal. Today, Mingyue suddenly became lively here, and even Buyu's usually quiet personality followed them for a while. Let's go. Mingyue smiled and agreed, then stood up. Xingxing's teammates were quite interesting. As she walked outside, Buyu casually asked Mingyue, will you leave after the all-star game or will you stay and watch the awards? I should be able to leave directly. I have other work to do, so I have to go back to the hotel today to pack my luggage and take it away. Mingyue didn't feel happy after finishing her lips. If there was time, she was also planning to watch the award for the best order before leaving, but unfortunately she couldn't make it. Turning his head, he looked regretfully at the star behind him and said, I'm sorry, I should have finished watching your awards before leaving. It's okay, you're not here. Even if you don't win, you won't feel ashamed. After all, he would be even more upset if he didn't win in front of his fans. Don't think so. In my heart, you are the best place to place an order. I believe your other fans also think the same way. As for what will happen on stage in the future, said Mingyue, reaching out to pat the shoulder of the star and looking at him with hope and trust in her eyes. Well, I know. The star nodded, and there was a determined force in the eyes of the bright moon, which instantly dispelled most of the uncomfortable emotions. This year, Shanghai's SA won the World Cup Championship, with the top spot being the final FMVP for the gummies. Therefore, the best top spot will basically be in SA, after all, the value of the championship is self-evident. It is precisely because they know the result that Mingyue comforts Shanghai. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Star Performance Competition. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6 Star Performance Competition. To my left is the winning team. Let's say hello to everyone one by one, said the beautiful host from the far left control of the line. Next was the star holding the microphone, who was very honest and lovely. He was the first to introduce himself and greeted the camera, saying, "Hello everyone, I am CC Star. It's nice to participate in this all-star game." After speaking, he handed the microphone to Mingyue next to him. That's right, standing in the position of upper field, middle and lower support, so Mingyue played in the field. After receiving the microphone, Mingyue also greeted the camera with a smile and said, "Hello everyone, I'm Mingyue. I'm glad to participate in this competition. If my skills are not good, please take care of me." Next is Buyu. He glanced at Mingyue and then took the microphone to greet him, "Hello everyone, I am CC Buyu. Everyone has a great time." Later, Qing Feng, who was temporarily serving as the next person, also took over the microphone. The previous person was too lazy to say anything, but didn't even say hello. "Hello everyone, I am SH Qing Feng." As soon as she finished speaking, she handed the microphone to Mei, who was playing as an assistant for her walk. "Hello everyone, I am Mimi from the must-win team. I am delighted to have this opportunity to collaborate with professional players and hope to contribute a wonderful game to everyone. I will work hard." After speaking, Meijia smiled and gestured to the camera to cheer. I didn't pass the microphone to anyone else, because the next step is for the male host to introduce the temporary team on the right. Okay, now I'll introduce the championship team on my end, starting from Zhengrong. Mingyue also looked over there, and as long as she followed KPL, no one didn't know Zhengrong's name, let alone she knew this person. The last of KPL's famous Esports F4, AA Club's assistant Wanderer, was also a World Championship FMVP player 2 years ago. At the age of 16, he debuted at his peak and became KPL's first skin owner to assist Joe, as well as the person with the most F4 championships in the 5 championships. Such a person possesses so many honors but never feels proud. He is always humble, polite, low-key, and introverted. Although he is not the most outstanding in the F4, his temperament is definitely outstanding and cannot be ignored. A humble gentleman is shining with brilliance. "Hello everyone, I am AA Zhengrong. Long time no see." Because Zhengrong has not been live streaming or operating since the game ended, neither fans nor anyone have seen him for a long time. In a daze, Mingyue seemed to see Zhengrong take a glance at her, and then disappear in the blink of an eye, as if it were her illusion. Thinking of this, Mingyue turned her head instead of looking over, but lowered her head. The nearby star followed her gaze and glanced at Zhengrong, then whispered to Mingyue, "Are you okay?" "No," Mingyue smiled at the stars, indicating nothing. Just at this moment, Mingyue and Zhengrong didn't know that the internet and barrage had already exploded. Everyone saw Zhengrong looking at Mingyue and thought they had a story. This inexplicable atmosphere instantly filled up, and the onlookers couldn't see it clearly. "I'm Gao, did my brother just glance at Mississippi? That look in my eyes is so overwhelming that no one can understand. Ah, UUSCP is no longer fragrant in an instant. I want to climb the wall. Ah, Qingming CP is no longer fragrant in an instant. Zhengrong, you're not up to par. You're too obvious, right? How can I not kowtow? In the turbulent years, CP was born. YYDS, I'm going to dig leaks for them first. Have you ever been together? I'm here. The basket is ready, wait for me." After introducing everyone, they started to sit down at the competition seat. As soon as Xinghai sat down and adjusted the equipment, he said in his headphones, "Since Mingyue is playing in the jungle, how about we all play in the jungle? Sure, if you want to be more exciting, let's take her to the wild." Although the name of the gummy is sweet and cute, when placing orders, it is always a cute and ferocious appearance. After all, FMVP is not something that comes from selling cute things. Is it not good for you to bully her like this? Jiangnan pondered for a moment before saying. Oh, this is heartbreaking. Don't think you just glanced at Miss and I didn't see it. The celebrity on the way down looked at Jiangnan next to him and started gossiping with a smile. Is it true or not? Xinghai, who was keeping up with the crowd, quickly asked. The rumored Jiangnan children who are not close to women have also grown up. The star from Zhonglu also joined the group chat, smiling happily. As for you, I just took a glance, Jiangnan said helplessly. After the game, these people have been bored for a long time. Ah, it's okay, it's okay. The little sister is so good looking, and it's normal to take a look. Yesterday, the entire KPL knew about it, but they didn't dare to disturb them, afraid that they might scare them away just because they came. At this moment, the gummy came out to try to smooth things out, although it wasn't much round. Otherwise, everyone must have gone to the restroom to get to know each other. When the gummy returned, I heard that the people in the Star C and Qingfeng restrooms pretended not to have seen it, but they had already gone crazy discussing it privately on their phones. Other clubs have been fluctuating for a long time, secretly hating that there are no F4 players in the team. However, thinking about Mingyue, it seems that the F4 club, which is full of ups and downs, did not ask for signatures. The development of the story is probably even more intriguing. Alright, the competition is starting. First, ban the mirror. Jiangnan spoke up first. In an instant, everyone fell silent for another second and then glanced towards him. With a curious expression on his face, Xinghai asked, why is there a ban mirror? Mirror is a hero in the wilderness, equivalent to the hero pool of Ban Mingyue, but how did Jiangnan know that Mingyue would play with mirror? The lineup I want to choose is not suitable for shooting, Jiangnan answered calmly, and then saw that the gummy was still on camera. At this moment, the winning team on the opposite side looked surprised, and the star began to speak. How did the other side know that Mingyue would play with the mirror? Perhaps it's just that the lineup is not suitable for shooting, Mingyue continued. Anyway, I know how to play and I don't have any shots. Although Mingyue is playing marksman, there are also a few heroes from other paths, otherwise she wouldn't have changed positions. When the lineup was finished, it was clear that the opposing champion team wanted to play in the center field. So Mingyue smiled and said, let's keep the pressure on Qingfeng and wait for us to fly in the center field. Humph, you'd better be. Speaking of this, Qingfeng gets angry. I won't lose a year this year, will I? Then this year. End summary is really frustrating. This year's World Cup final was played by AA against SA, which is equivalent to CC losing to Xinghai Soft Candy and Jiangnan in the hands of Buyu, Xingxing, and SH Qingfeng, respectively, and falling to the semi-finals. This minor grudge here feels like igniting the fire. At this point, barrage of comments also flew up on the internet, naturally leading to gossip about the Bureau of Enmity and Resentment. Speaking of which, does it feel a bit like a team in the semi-finals of the World Cup is bullying people? Did you see Qingfeng's expression? Obviously, you also thought of this haha. CP is a mess, I didn't even mention the whole team of Jianghu CP today. And there's also Qingyu, who knows? The middle and lower double Cs are really impressive. Sisters, hold on. I can knock flowers out of F4. I don't know why today. I feel more fragrant with my little sister. Sure enough, men and women are the eternal gods. Men and women are all looking for candy to eat, while men and women are all covered in candy. The moment when we gaze at each other in the tumultuous years has already become a hot search. And I didn't expect Miss to take the lawn, so let's see how it goes on both sides. If you're serious about the entertainment room, you'll lose. Just take a look. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Star Performance Competition 2. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 8. Ranking. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 8 Ranking. What are you doing, Star? Coach Guanyao saw a star preparing to go downstairs, holding a pet box in his hand. "Oh, this is the kitten my cat gave birth to. Mingyue said she wants one, and I'll mail it to her." Xingxing said and even picked up the pet bag to show them. Chaoyang quickly bumped into Buyu next to him and said, Look, is your goddess's pet cute? Get lost." Buyu's mentality has exploded, and he is in a state of autism, which is too embarrassing. The Chinese New Year is coming soon, and everyone is not very busy. Just as they saw Mingyue online, the stars invited Mingyue to play games. Oh, they're all acquaintances, peak competition. Mingyue saw not only the stars, but also the commentator Daylight from Buyu and KPL. She had seen them before at the award ceremony and seemed to have won the Best Commentator award. She used to be a professional player playing Wilderness. "Oh, good evening, Mingyue. How about a round? It's hot during the day and the first person to say hello." "No problem, we still need some assistance." As soon as Mingyue finished speaking, she saw Jingrong come in. Today in Wuhu, these 5 rows of cars have a bit of high gold content. Let's seek a middle support to lead the way. It's rare to win a gold medal car during the day. Those with champion athletes are called gold medal cars, and so on. Next, we're ready to lie down and win. Hee, I'm still here, don't be in a hurry to be a jerk. Mingyue reminded me first, don't deceive me. Don't worry, it's not a big problem. Jingrong finally said the first sentence of getting on the car today. During the day, there is usually a live broadcast without commentary, so the 5 people present have a clear idea and will pay attention to their speech. It is normal for them to speak less. Hey Buyu, you have to say something. Why did the little sister come and you feel like you're autistic? Did you block the restroom? The relationship between Daylight and CC players is good, and it may be related to him, who is also in C City. There is some contact in private. Lie down today, I'll fly with you. The murmur of Buyu wheat echoed for a while before he said. Is this eating? Mingyue listened to the voice and asked. I'll just wait for your words. It's up to you whether I can earn a score of 2000 or not. Bai Tian was instantly excited, but Buyu ignored him and just answered Mingyue's words. Can you hear that too? Guess it, it's time to start. What to choose? Mingyue said as she saw the competition start. She casually clicked on Gong Sunli and Sun Shangxiang Xiaoluban in the preliminary rounds. Wow, last time I saw Mingyue playing with Lan, it was really good. I heard you were still in charge, it's really good. Let's add a friend and we'll have 5 rows of cars in the future. Daylight took the lead in inviting them, and a few people started talking about each other. Okay, but I may not be available at all, Mingyue said, adding daytime attention, and the 2 friends added up. Okay, I'm following you, said Daylight. First, ban the mirror, Jingrong said, basically overlapping with Mingyue. It's okay to act as a proxy, said the star. Choose a wilderness first, We will not fall behind either. Then I'll take the mirror, okay, daytime agreed. Then you need to be C, or else let Mingyue take the fight against the wild. Xing took the lead in throwing the blame. I look down on retirement, no matter what, I have played professionally. I must give it a chance to show you my strength. If I lose, I will earn you 100. Mr. Bai, who was aroused by the fighting spirit, began to become passionate. That's what you said, 100 is 100. The stars are starting to make extra money, and even if you lose, it's not a loss, right? What's more, you're not at a loss. If you practice on behalf of me, I'll make a profit. Mingyue laughed along. Let Mingyue choose miss, I'll use a hard assistant to follow you down. Jingrong continued to select people. Sure, Mingyue said, locking in Sun Shangxiang. Afterwards, Jingrong was also selected, and the current lineup is waiting to be selected. Give me another shot in the upper middle field, I'll swim to support and stabilize the way down. Jiangnan didn't hesitate to pick up the command of the team and start arranging. Okay. Mingyue has no objection. The current version is already a tool person, and the living environment is not good. People don't focus so much on the next step, at least the 4 guarantees and 1 pig farming trend has passed. At this time, there are also many barrage comments in the daytime live broadcast room. After all, both of them are in F4, and they are still in line with the recently popular Mingyue 5th platoon. In addition, the previously trending Turbulent Years CP and UUAS CP can only be said to be a highly valuable round of gossip. The number of people in the live broadcast room also doubled, and technical fans also came to watch this ranking. At that time, many people were amazed by Mingyue's wild play. When they knew that Mingyue was destined to play Development Road, they wanted to see how her Sagittarius played. Just a few times when they both invaded each other's wilderness, if they didn't make any moves on their way down, Mingyue didn't provide support either. Usually, the way up was an orphan road, so today, the 2 orphans will be on their way down. How do I feel like I'm playing on a single? Mingyue joked. I'm here. Jiangnan had just helped sink Xingchuan on the road and killed the opposite Shangan. At that moment, he immediately went down again. No need, you can go blue with the middle lane. In a while, I'll probably come back from the opposite side and catch a wave on the way. Don't worry about me if you push the middle lane. Mingyue saw them play a few waves and guessed that the opposite side might move down. Come on, move the blue, said Blue Daylight as soon as he finished fighting. Wokeo and his team are really looking for you. Hurry up and push them to get up. Under the 4 guarantees, Mingyue was not killed. Although the outer tower fell, more was lost on the opposite middle road. Immediately, the opponent's wild area was casually entered, and red and blue were gradually advancing. Later, Mingyue also joined them in team battles. Although she died in the wild a few times and lost 2 dragons, she won all team battles. Mingyue's key team output was full, and there were basically no major mistakes or drops. She easily took the water crystal. Wuhu Nyobiao and Zhongxia MVP, Mingyue can come back again, by Tian said as she saw her own rating of 6.8, while the other 4 were all above 9 points. Mingyue's MVP was awkward, why only 6.8? Who do I look down on? I look down on you, that's needless to say. Buyu retorted directly. Come on, the 4 great gods are leading me to win. Daylight said as he opened up again, but he was really quick in this area. If you had this speed in the game, even our dragons wouldn't fall. Mingyue laughed and stood up to pour water. I'll go pour a glass of water. Go ahead, Jiangnan replied. At the same time, while speaking with Jiangnan, there was also Buyu, NN. Daylight was originally looking at the barrage and thanking gifts, but when he heard their strange understanding, he couldn't help but laugh. You two are quite in sync. At this moment, the barrage is everywhere, haha, strange behavior has increased again. The key is that they all responded to Mingyue's words, and I was overjoyed by Gentian CP fans who stumbled on something strange. Sister is so fierce, I love her so much. Such strength adds another thigh in the daytime. This level must have reached its peak of 2000, at least stronger than Daylight. When I saw it in the daytime, I was very angry. Hey, what does it mean to be at least better than me? Who else said that my name is porridge? Is it my food? When I prove myself next, I will show you my life. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Little Stars. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9 Little Stars, have you received Mingyue Express? Xing asked when she heard Mingyue's return. Oh, my mom received it, it's quite cute. Mingyue was reminded by the stars before remembering this. What? Daylight asked. The cat from the stars has given birth, and I have taken one, but I haven't come home yet. I've only seen photos, Mingyue said after taking a sip of water. Has a name been given? Asked the star. Got up, I see it's a white lump, it's called Little White. Mingyue thought it was pretty good, and it's better to have a pet's name. Ha ha ha, Zaya bye bye. Why don't you call it Xiaoxingsing? Bai Tian said jokingly. The bullet screen said it looked like he was some kind of ghost, and suddenly felt that the name Daylight was very strange. How do you know the note she gave me? The star remained silent for a second, and the day was really fine, but it couldn't be played well. Ha ha ha, really fake, little star. The bright moon talks to you. Daylight opened his mouth wide, which was too numb, right? Why do you have any questions? I'm his fan. Little Star's mother loves you so much, Mingyue said and even blew a kiss. I was originally planning to give you a gift in the live broadcast room, but I have already opened it. Mingyue then turned up the voice on another phone and played it for Daylight to listen to. I was wrong, I'm sorry, there's nothing wrong with it. It's very good, little star. I love you too, Moma. Bai Tian quickly apologized. Don't give him any gifts, he doesn't deserve it, Buyu said after blurring for a while. Why haven't we opened it yet? Why don't we forget about next time? Jingrong also began to act like a demon, and they waited for a few minutes before opening it, deliberately saying it to Bai Ri. Alright, don't bully me together. I didn't do anything. Oh, thank you for the plane sent by Mingyue, thank you for Mingyue's 10 planes, thank you. Seeing the barrage all day, he thought he was just a lowly anchor. Buyu, you and Jingrong really have a good understanding. You two are so well matched, you sing with your wife. Mingyue really noticed that these two people seemed to have a good understanding, which was really inexplicable. Who am I advocating for justice, you white-eyed wolf? The unwavering voice knew he was rolling his eyes even if he couldn't see it. Jingrong, Mingyue is like this. If you don't say a word, it's not tacitly agreed. Dei thought that the two of them had just helped Mingyue bully him, so he turned around and was bought. He didn't mind the commotion, so he quickly rubbed the fire. I'm used to him doing this all the time, Jingrong exclaimed astonishingly. What kind of thing? Ha, you two know each other. Dei was surprised again, as he could eat a bowl tonight with his mouth full. The barrage was also full of greetings and exclamation marks flying on the screen, and I remembered the hot topic of their previous video search. I went on a shocking gossip. I've seen it a few times, don't talk nonsense about it. Mingyue felt that both Dei and the people in the live broadcast room were probably going to eat their fill. Tonight, she helped him have a free chat in the live broadcast room, and she took note of this favor for Dei. Jingrong said this intentionally, and he wanted to deceive her. He didn't have a good heart. Quickly, explain and explain. How did you get to know each other? There are already 6 million people online eating melons now, and if you don't explain clearly, you two are done. Daylight is actually helping them out, so we must explain clearly here, otherwise there will be everything. My friend and her friend used to be boyfriend and girlfriend, so we met a few times, Jingrong said honestly this time. So coincidental. Oh, by the way, you're both from City A, so it's normal to know each other. Daylight knew about these two people, and Mingyue's situation was searched on the day of the award ceremony. Strange gossip has increased again. Without looking at the barrage in the live broadcast room, I read one of them and then saw a barrage later on. Make sure my friend is not referring to me. It's really not true. Those two have been talking for a year or two, but unfortunately I can't name them, but it's really not me and Jingrong. Let them do whatever they want, believe it or not. Jingrong was not a person who liked to explain himself, he didn't care about these things. I've opened it up, we'll talk about gossip later. Bai Ri wanted to talk about gossip, but he also knew that live streaming was not suitable, and even after they debunked the rumors, it was still appropriate to stop. Come on, first fight against the wild, orange on the orange. Buyu asked the stars to take the orange to the right capital first. Hey Buyu, you're targeting me. The accusation of daytime dissatisfaction, you're jealous, don't drag me on. It's really unlucky. Didn't you say you wanted C? Just now, you didn't want your own life. I helped you grab it and made a mistake. Although Buyu didn't say much, he was really good at attacking people. I've noticed that you guys who don't talk a lot are so strong at hating people, Mingyue said again. She hit it hard when she saw online that they were Zheng UCPs. The bullet screen said it was hit, 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 hit. That's not what I said, Mingyue smiled and dared not speak out. You don't want me to go down the road and say it directly, Jingrong said while selecting heroes, and now only he and Xing are carefully selecting. Wrong, 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 I dare not. Mingyue quickly apologized, suddenly feeling that playing Sagittarius was a pity. How could she be held by an assistant? It was too ugly. The bullet screen of the bright moon says you have been pinched, said the day. You don't need to say it, I can see the barrage, Mingyue said, rolling her eyes. In such a joyful atmosphere, there were 4 more victories, and the day was full of joy. The whole game was won while lying down, except for the time when Zhu Yujing passed, and the rest were taken flying. Alright, let's schedule another time. Mingyue's hands were a bit sore, mainly busy revising the manuscript in the afternoon, and her hands were already a bit tired. Okay. Goodbye everyone. If you have time, please make an appointment with your thighs and take me on a flight. Daylight quickly answered. Next time, definitely next time. Mingyue said and went down. As soon as Daylight was about to ask others about the situation, he saw that apart from the stars, Buyu and Jingrong went straight down without even saying hello. What do the stars say? Daylight could only turn his head and ask the stars. Well, I also set it down. Say hello and goodbye to you. After saying that, the stars also sat down. Hi, just the stars are a bit polite. What do the remaining 2 mean, what do they mean? Daylight said while reading the message on another phone, only to see the solemn news. Next time, the moon will come and call me. In the live broadcast room, only the person with the little avatar, Dei, covered her mouth and suppressed her smile for a moment. She moved her finger and was sending a message, but she didn't know what she was sending. Okay, she said turning around in the daytime. I clicked into the star's WeChat and asked him, did Buyu ask you to call him the next time you pull the bright moon? Jingrong asked you the same question. Star thought of this in a moment. That's right. I couldn't hold back my laughter during the day. Are they sure they're not twins? The stars were stunned, it's a pity these 2 didn't become teammates. In the daytime, looking up at the barrage full of question marks, he pretended not to see it, and then the stars also receded. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Jiangnan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 Jiangnan. After the new year, Mingyue sent a message to Xingxing, I will come to B City right away to see my grandmother. Do you have time to come out and play? Your grandmother from B City. Xingxing was quite surprised and continued, okay, let me know when you have time. My dad is from City A, and my mom is from City B. Actually, I prefer the South. If I settle down in the future, I may retire in City B. The air in City A is too bad and cold, Mingyue said. After making an appointment with Xingxing to come out and play, she began to busy herself with other things. The novel I have been writing recently is still in a hurry, and the key is not only the editor urging the draft, but also the director who previously worked with the TV drama. If you want to see the follow-up content, you can say whether it's a holiday or a busy one. Just like a group of people chasing after you, it's really a busy day. But it's okay, she's best at taking a break from her busy schedule, and novels are not just rushed out. Let's meet little Star first to find inspiration. After arriving in B City, Mingyue immediately took a deep breath of air. The weather in the south is still good, and the north can't stay anymore. Let's go, Grandma and the others are still waiting. Second cousin came specifically to pick up people. Seeing the most eye-catching presence in the approaching crowd, even wearing a mask couldn't cover up his cousin's temperament. He quickly brought over all the gifts. Okay, Happy New Year, second cousin. Mingyue didn't hesitate to give him all her gifts. Let's go, you. Second cousin looked at her and smiled. The two of them got into the car and handed over their luggage to the driver to move to the trunk. I heard you're planning to develop into the entertainment industry. Second cousin looked at it carefully without a glance, appearing slightly more serious than just now. The usual scrutinizing gaze made Mingyue feel a bit vague, and she could only think for a moment before saying, "It's not really that, it's just a bit related." "It's okay with development, let me talk to my second cousin if there are any problems," my second cousin said, touching Mingyue's hair. Seeing Mingyue's appearance just now, he didn't want to lie, and he felt a little relieved. Understood, Low.Key. I understand. Mingyue raised her hand and made an okay gesture, with a look of understanding. I'm not so strict with you, as long as I don't disturb uncle and them, it's okay. Second cousin finally regained his gentle attitude, slightly curling his lips and reaching out to pinch Mingyue's face. Oh, I'm so big now. Don't keep pinching my face, I'm getting fat. Mingyue waved her hand and hit her second cousin, pouting and looking unhappy. I'm only 19 years old and still a little girl, my second cousin retorted with a smile, but he didn't take any action anymore. After 18, you'll be a big girl, Mingyue said and hit her again. On the third day, Mingyue finally had time to come out and play. She was holding her phone and calling Xingxing, "Hey, where have you been?" "I'm going out." "Ah, I'll send you the location, you can come over directly." Xingxing and Mingyue agreed to take her to visit Jiangnan town. Okay, Mingyue said, connecting the car's Bluetooth, opening the navigation, and starting off. Second cousin's car is still fine, and she has left it at her new home in B City. When they got there, they went to the second floor to drink tea and ordered several plates of dim sum. Mingyue took one of them and ate it. It tasted good. Why do you think of coming here? Mingyue looked up and asked the stars. My grandmother used to bring me here, and besides, didn't you say you wanted to take a boat? There are boats here, said Xingxing, pointing to the boat in the small river downstairs. No wonder I drove for an hour. It's better to take a boat in the misty rain of Jiangnan. It would be even better if it rained a little more. Mingyue prefers light rainy days, so she prefers the environment here in the south. It often rains here, and maybe it will rain today too. It's okay if it doesn't rain, come back another day, said the star as she looked out. When will you return to the club? Mingyue asked. I'll be leaving in a few days. I heard you're going to shoot a video with Qingfeng. Xingxing was puzzled by something she had heard before. Yeah, the official video promotion of the king. When you return to the club, I will go to S City to shoot. Mingyue thought of it funny, and the official really likes to pair them up, which is also strange. The official preference is inexplicable, probably you two CP fans. Xingxing thought it was funny, thinking that since the turbulent years, he should have changed his mind. It doesn't matter, the competition is the most important. The spring competition is about to start, and you may not feel well in Group S. Mingyue, due to her attention to the stars, also has some understanding of the competition system and various teams. At present, CC's strength is only in the top 8, and it is difficult to say whether they can maintain their position in the top 6 of Group S. Even if it's difficult, you have to fight. If you want to win the championship, there's no easy way to go. Stars know the difficulties, but what's easy is not the competition. The version update is coming soon, let's see how the situation is this time. Mingyue nodded. Now CC is clearly stronger in the upper and middle fields. If the version focuses on the lower field, it may be even more difficult to play. If we still go to the middle field, there is still hope. Unfortunately, she couldn't help the stars with anything, and the golden period for professional players was only a few years. Watching the stars burn away like this made her feel uncomfortable. "Let's go down and take a boat," said the star with a reserved expression. Although his words sounded good, he couldn't help but understand the level of difficulty in his heart. He also felt a bit uncomfortable for a moment, so he decided not to say anything. "Let's go." Mingyue stood up and patted the shoulder of the star. The two men walked downstairs. The money for dim sum and tea had just been given by Mingyue. "Oh, by the way, I brought you some food. Remember to take it with you when you go back later." Mingyue agreed with Xingxing to take it back for a while. "Well, thank you," Star said honestly. "Why are you polite to me?" "Take a boat," Mingyue said as she walked towards the boatman's side, with the stars smiling and following behind. Mingyue sat on the boat, watching the waves under the boat. She saw some raindrops on the water surface and fainted, so she couldn't help but reach out to pick them up. Then she laughed and turned her head to look at the stars. "It's raining." "Look at the stars." "I see." Xingxing nodded and looked at Mingyue leaning against the railing across from him. He couldn't help but take out his phone and take a photo, then glanced at it and handed it to Mingyue. "You see," he said, "Oh, you took a good photo. Send it to me and I'll post it on Weibo." Mingyue said, returning her phone to Xingxing. "I didn't expect you to have good photography skills." "It's pretty good. It has nothing to do with me. Isn't it because you look good?" However, Xingxing felt embarrassed to say this and just lowered his head to send the picture to Mingyue. Turning her head to Mingyue, she clicked on Weibo. Her Weibo name was Stealing Heart Mingyue, and the first Weibo post on top only had one sentence. "I am a scumbag." She has been posting this Weibo for a long time, and it can be said that everyone knows Sima Zhao's intentions. Later, Mingyue posted a photo of the stars just taken, with the caption, "My idol took it, yeah." End of this chapter.